What's up, guys? So one of the things I've learnt whilst building this van is that the need for planning ahead is very vital, and it hasn't really gone that way a few times. So for instance, I should have done the ceiling before I done the bed frame. That's one example, because the bed frame was in the way then. So I thought, right, what's the next step to do? One of the main things I want to do now is build all this area. So what do I need to do before I tackle that? So that then if that's built, it doesn't get in the way of doing said things. So really I need to concentrate on these areas here, because obviously if I've built all that, then it's going to be a pain in the ass to construct these areas. Now what I mean when I say these areas is, so if you can imagine in the future you're going to have your bed slats on the frame here, and then on top of the slats you're going to have a mattress. So the mattress end is going to come to there, and I don't know, 4 or 5 inch mattress. We'll see in the future for that. So that's going to bring it up roughly to just above the internal panel there where the pods are bolted on, but away from it. So we need something that goes by here, because obviously your pillow's going to be by here or that end, and you don't want it disappearing down the back, and obviously to make it look nice, and it needs to go all the way around it. So basically a windowsill, although there's no window. A pod sill, because no one makes pods for these vans apart from me. Then no one makes these sills either, so they're gonna have to be custom made to fit in this area. So what I thought, rather than me just constructing a panel there out of wood, I thought, because I'm selling the pods now, then maybe I can offer a panel that then works in conjunction with the pods, and I can, if anyone's interested, sell them as well. And you could maybe even offer them as a package, 2 pods and 2 trims. Obviously to start off, we'd have to make the shape anyway out of a mixture of, what do I make it out of, like wood and foam and filler and all sorts. And then take a mould of that, and once you've got the mould, then I make the panel. Now it's actually quite funny when making not the sill part but the front parts of these panels to be moulded. I thought, right, I'll make them out of some thin ply, make one side, trim it all so it fits nice, and then take it off, lay it on another piece of ply, draw around it, cut that one out, and I've got the other side. You know, I don't have to do no trimming on that one. So that's what I did. Went to fit it on that side. Did it fit? Did it? Fuck! No, it didn't. So, like I said in, what episode was it? Where I unveiled the pod Mark IIs, and I was saying about the quarter panels are slightly different on it, every van. Well, that goes for the insides as well. Obviously they're a mirror image, but you would think they would be a bang on mirror image, but no, it didn't line up whatsoever, and yeah, I had to make another one totally different. Anyway, enough of me rambling. Here is one of the internal trims. Done a slight bit of trimming on it out of the mould, but it's still pretty raw. The idea behind them, if you really wanted to, you could sand them down, primer and paint them. I wouldn't really recommend that. Really, they're designed to be retrimmed in whatever fabric you're using inside. So you could use your 4-way stretch stuff. We know I don't like that stuff, so that won't be going on these ones. But what I'm going to do is because your pillow is going to be going in this area, or half your pillow anyway. Really, you want a bit of cushioning on that. So what I'm going to do in a later video, because like I said, I'm not doing any painting, trimming or anything like that for the moment, because sod's law, I'll just mess it up in doing other jobs by either getting sealer on it or paint or glue or gouging it or anything. So just to be on the safe side, I'll be doing the trimming later on. But what I was saying is, before I go to retrim it, I'm gonna put maybe about, I don't know, about a centimetre's worth of sponge all over it, and then retrim it, and so it'll be nice and squidgy then. So if you're the type of person who likes to put their hand underneath the pillow when they're sleeping and stuff, then it's not going to be hard, it's going to have a nice cushion behind it. Now, this one's for the passenger side, and I will show you the driver's side one in a mo. And as you can see, the depth on this is quite large, because this is the depth of the driver's side one at the moment. If you have a long wheelbase and you don't have pods, and you don't want pods, but you do fancy a nice window, you could have it with glass or the steel panels. You could still purchase these and use these, but you'd have to trim them right down so that they fit, and then you'd have a nice panel and sill to go in that situation. So if we have a quick gander, it's upside down. What it's going to look like. I know it's not going to fit, but we have to see what we need to trim off. So we can roughly work out how much to trim off so that they go all the way in. So I'm going to have to do this in a few cuts, because I don't want to just whip too much off and then realise I cut too much off and then there's a big gap behind it. So first of all, I know I've got to cut off at least 8 centimeters off this passenger side one. So I've just marked 8 centimeters all the way around from there downwards, and then what I'm going to do is just join them all up with a line of tape, like so. And now I'm going to cut it with a circular saw, air powered cut off wheel maybe. Can't stress this enough, whenever you're cutting fiberglass or carbon fiber, you would at least need one of these on. So if you haven't got one with the eye protection as well, then obviously you need to wear goggles or a face shield. Yeah, can't stress it enough, at the very least you need one of these ones, because breathing in dust from cutting fiberglass or carbon fiber is really bad for you. Ear defenders as well, because the tools can get really loud. And then pair of decent gloves as well. Rare for me, innit? But the edges of fiberglass and carbon fiber is really sharp, and don't know whether you can see there, I have a really nice carbon fiber splinter in my hand at the moment, because I didn't wear gloves. So I'm going to cut that off. It's still not going to fit, but you know, we will proceed with caution in cutting just little bits off at a time, and until it fits. Right, so I've got that pretty much how I want it now. There might be, you know, a few little adjustments here and there, but for now they'll do. And after you've done all the trimming, what I would recommend is getting something like 180 grit sandpaper and then going right around all the edges by folding it in half like that. Obviously wear gloves, I've already done this. And just go all the way around the edge and that edge as well. And that will get rid of the odd strands that will potentially give you splinters then. Let's get this one in there. You know, like I said at the start, planning ahead, well, the bed frame is in my way for this, but I couldn't do this without it being in, because it needs to line up with the bed frame. So some jobs you have to you do have to work around things. So there we are, that's it on. And I haven't fully decided how I'm going to fix them on yet. It will be screws down the bottom because they'll be hidden by the mattress, and potentially screws up the top, because these panels that will go here, I'm hoping to then hide the screws. So you could do it with screws along each end. I don't really want any screws showing because you will be able to see them, so I'm thinking maybe Velcro or something on just the two ends. You could bond them on if you wanted to, but then you ain't gonna get them back off if you need to. So let's have a closer look. So obviously they're not fitting amazing at the moment because they're just resting in place. So if I hold it, then I've trimmed it just so there's a couple of mil of space in between the sound deadening of the pod and this trim, because you need to leave room for the upholstery to go around it, and that's like it is all the way around, and same again for all the way around here. You need to leave room for the upholstery as well. Like I said, if you could imagine that now with say a centimetre sponge on all the surfaces and then covered with the like the tweed upholstery that I've got on the door cards, and that you can then tuck around the back of all the sides so you don't get no fraying, and it'll have a nice edge on it. How I'm gonna get it to go around these corners tidy, I don't know whether I have a bash with it or whether I get a good retrimmer this time. We won't be using the one who tried to do the door cards for me. So that's the passenger side. That's the one that needs to be cut down the most. So now let's try the driver side. Got the driver side one in place. As you can see, it's not fitting yet. I probably do need to shave a bit off the edges. Can't really see how much yet because it's not up against the metalwork yet. And the reason for that is because on my van I got the Mark 1 pods, which have got the chamfered sides. Now these sills haven't got chamfered sides on them, so obviously I need to cut them to fit to the chamfered sides. If you guys purchase a set of Mark 2 pods, then there won't be as much trimming to do if you purchase a set of these, because the Mark 2 haven't got chamfered sides, so these will then go in deeper. Yeah, baby. And shouldn't need as much trimming. Some of you might ask, well, why can't you make them to the absolute specific depth? Well, it's just not possible, because every single van is different and every single pod is going to be fitted on differently. Some might have more sealer applied on the mounting surface than others. Some might have really little. So obviously that is then going to affect the distance that is compared to these trims. Plus people are going to fit different materials onto them. Some may be thicker than others.
That's what she said.
And some might just paint them. Although, like I said, I don't recommend that. So there's just loads of variables involved, and you got to take that into account. So you got to make them as big as they need to be, so that then they can be trimmed down. Because it's no good making them a certain size and then people have gaps all the way around them. Then the same for the driver's side one. So let's get it in. Whoosh! And there we go. So like I said, if you can imagine, the mattress will be about by there, just a tiny bit above these, so that then I can put some sponge on these and make them nice and squidgy and soft. And that's where you'll be sleeping then. So, what is it? The pillow will be about that wide, is it? So your head will be by or your feet if you want to sleep the other way around. Let's have a closer look at the driver's side one. So obviously this one's got a much bigger sill on it than this one. So that's about a hand's width, and that one, well, you got about half a hand bigger. And in the instructions it will get stated that I'll get them as good as I can get them, but they will need some trimming around the outside, because like I said, every van is different. Plus another thing that I just thought of that people will have to contend with is people like to trim these in carpet. So obviously once you put carpet on these, they're going to be thicker, so you need to trim these so that it'll clear the carpet. And if you're retrimming these, obviously you've got two sets of carpet next to each other, so they'll have to be trimmed a little bit more again. So they are my side trims to go with the pods, to give you a nice sill to put your pillow on and finish it all off so it looks nice. Once I'm getting to the retrimming stage, then this will obviously have cloth on it as well. Obviously if you buy a set of the Mark II pods, it'll be slightly different because it won't, like I said, it won't have the chamfered sides on it. So everything will look and fit nicer with the Mark II pods. Some of you may go, what is the point? I'll just make my own. Yeah, there's nothing stopping you making your own.
Yes, well, we'll see about that.
And you may wonder why these are better. Well, to get that shape in wood, I'm not sure how you would do it, to be honest. Like for when I made the first ones, I couldn't get wood to bend to that shape, no matter how thin it was. So good luck if you can make them out of wood for that area to make it curved. Other than that, you would have to carve it out of a thicker piece of wood. But obviously with wood, and if you're having to carve stuff, then you're having to work with thicker materials, and wood in general is a lot heavier than this. You know, I can lift it up with one hand there. I mean, you try and do that with wood, well, you'd have to hold it with two hands. So obviously that's better. because the less it weighs, then it's better for your fuel economy. And apart from the trimming you have to do just to get them to fit nicely, there's much less work in buying a set of these and trimming them than it would be to make a set from scratch out of whatever you wanted to make them out of. All the details for the pair of these trims will be in the description. Exactly the same details as if you were to buy a set of side pods, like I've mentioned before. So you can phone, you can email, you can message me on Instagram, you can pop in here if you're passing. All payments done by card machine. Price will also be in the description. They are plus postage. I can also offer a fitting service if that's something you're interested in, if you're local to the South Wales area. I think I've pretty much covered everything now. There's not a lot more I can say about them. So like I said, all the details in the description. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments or reach out to me on the email or Instagram. If you've got any questions on anything else, pop them in the comments as well, and I'll answer them at the end of the next video. Thank you very much to the few people that bought me a coffee. Very much appreciated. If I've done anything that has helped you in your own van build, or you just like supporting the channel and just like my content, consider buying me a coffee also. Link for that is in the description. And as always, click on the subscribe button, help the channel out, and I'll see you next time.